Uh, Hello everybody, thank you for your attention. Today I want to present our paper. The end title is The Development of Executive Function based on Electronic Module in Learning Mathematical Literacy. The author of this research is Dani Kusuma. Second is Sugestiarno. Number 3 is Wardono. And number 4 is Adi Nurjayono from Universitas Negeri Semarang. Before we start our presentation, I want to introduce you some of our research problem. Our research breakdown. Number 1 is the low ability of student mathematical literacy, and then the learning mathematics have not much to do with the concept of mathematical literacy. And number 3 is the low level of mathematical literacy required learning media that's able to incorporate the mathematical literacy process. From these three problems, we get one research goal. Our goal is the purpose of the study is to develop a module-based learning media by combining executive function that helps learning and improve student mathematical literacy. Our goal is how we develop a model or learning material to improve a student mathematical literacy based on in executive function. We have some literature review that include in our research. Number 1 is mathematical literacy. We know that mathematical literacy have three main processes. This is formulate, employ, and interpret. Then we have executive function. Our executive function is become basically a structure to we created a model in a modules, because in executive function we have three main process. This is working memory, and then inventory control, and number 3 is cognitive flexibility and and this three part is so important to make a student to learning more independently and making better study in the future. And then we have electronic module. Electronic module is a system that helps students to learning by online or not online education, because in electronic module we have some material in inclusive book, and then some summaries, and then talks, and then video of learning that helps students to understanding the material, especially about mathematics education in mathematics literacy. And then we want to introduce you to our research methods. Our model is research and development using ADDE models. Our population is student in class 8 in senior high school. And then our AD research is developed a procedure of AD, the model by Stephen G. McCriff in 2000. And then selection of AD developed the model based on the characteristics of AD that's is developed by systematically and easy to understand. The implementation of the model is also considered appropriate to implement the artificial information system that will be imaged. We have five processes. There is analysis, design, development, implementation, and the last is evaluation. I want to introduce you our process. In number 1 is our results. In analysis, we have three main analysis. Number 1 is student research material that's not very clear. That is many practice question that still lack of explanation that good students study independently. And number 2 is teacher focus on completing the tasks, but learning process or pedagogy needed by student is lacking. And number 3 is in addition the learning material improved by teacher have not accommodated to independent learning, but also still similar to face of offline learning. And then in design, we design is using integrated function principle, but the learning syntax and electronic module in the learning material in the modules. The mathematical learning material are prepared by deeply in concept and mathematical literacy based on the contextual learning, and then addition aspect of the problem mathematical literacy applied to industry basic part, namely formulate, employ, and interpret. Meanwhile, in the design of the interlearning module is arranged by accommodated three parts of the function, namely working memory, input control, and attention shifting, and cognitive flexibility. And then in our next part is develop. The develop approach the ingredient of the design to being designed and adapted to the initial needed. The development process includes validating the electronic module, the be export validator. The validator include the appropriate of this content, sustainability of the design is to access and grammar that use easy understand. The validator result that resulting needs valid criteria getting score 82 from range 20 to 100. In the implementation process, the learner is stage of applying electronic in the electronic process classroom. The student can access the learning through the website mathematicalliteracy.org. In addition to buying website access and be done using mobile phone using module mobile by entering the address of mathematicalliteracy.org. And else we know that our problem our model is can access by handphone and access by computer, and then we have some example how to we learning mathematics by using our models. And then in evaluation process is assessment on the effectiveness of the electronic model. That's mathematical learning process improving mathematical literacy. The electronic model is measured based on the achievement of the student learning outcome. Because then after using the electronic model, student learning outcome multiply by improvement before and after using a module are described as follow. And then we know that after using a module, a student achievement in especially in mathematics increase. Before using a module, the student average outcome is 67, and then in the after using a module, the student achievement increase until 86. Or we can calculate in percentage is to 28.33%. And then the questionnaire result on the show the practically on the module the score is 87 or indicated in very good criteria. And then in our conclusion after our result is electronic development of executive function based model in improving student mathematical literacy made the valid, effective, and practical criteria. Web optic in the media validation result code 82 are included in code criteria, and then there was increased student mathematical literacy learning outcome after using this module by 28.30%, and then there practical aspect the score is 87 or indicated in very good criteria. I think that's all for our presentation. Thank you for attention for the audience. I hope that's any question about our research. It can improve our research and our finding in the research. Thank you to all the participants out in this room.